Hey, what's up guys, it's Theo from Final Concept. So today we are going to create a trifold mockup in Adobe Photoshop. Let's just get started. Welcome to Final Concept. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up our application. For this tutorial, I'm using Photoshop CC 2019 and let's just import our image. So this is the image I'm going to be using for this tutorial. I already have a picture of my trifold in here, so I'll go ahead and open it up in Photoshop. Now I'll go ahead and create another document. So go to File, click on New. You can pretty much leave this to whatever width and height you want this, but I'll just leave mine at 1920 for the width and 1080 for the height. That is just my preference. So to create this effect or the mockup for this, we have to divide this shape into 3 equal parts. It is a trifold, so that is what we have to do. So in my case, I'll just use the shape tool. I'll just go to the shapes tool and I'll grab the rectangle tool and I'll just create a rectangle like this. Now once I have done that, I'll just use the move tool to align it at this end and probably somewhere around here also. Then I'll stretch it out to cover up this entire screen. Now you don't have to do this if you are good with guidelines. You can just go to view, click on new guideline layout, I think. Then you make sure that columns is checked. You just change it to 3 and remove the whole of this and pretty much click on OK. So once you do that, you have all these areas like so. So you can just use this to align them. Duplicate using Ctrl J, so you can just do that. Align this one as well and align that one as well. But I didn't know this since I started using Photoshop, so every time I want to create it, I just use 3 shapes and I get that. You can also try that in case you are interested. So basically it's just going to give you the same thing. So now that I have that, I'm going to divide this into 3 like I said previously, and I'll be using the rectangular marquee tool to do that. So I'll create a selection like so. Right click, go to layer via cut. You can also use layer via copy. Select the background image again. Click and drag. Get this selection. Right click and go to layer via cut. And I'll do the same thing for the last part, layer via cut. So if I turn off the background, you can see we have one shape, another and another. So 3 different layers. Now let's quickly come back to our main work. So you know what, usually I'll just add in a gradient style, change the style to radial, set the scale to 1000 and reverse it. This is something I usually do. If you've seen most of my tutorials, you notice that that is true. Alright, so now that we have this, before I even send it to this work, I have to make everything here a smart object. So we start with this layer, right click, go to convert to smart object, do the exact same thing for layer 2 and the exact same thing for layer 3. So once I'm done, I'll just import all of these into my main work. And yeah, unfortunately it's quite huge. You know what, let me just resize them. So holding down Shift or Alt, you can just resize them like this so that everything moves proportionally. If you're an older version of Photoshop, you have to hold down the Shift, but the new version, without holding down Shift, you are still set to go. It's still going to be proportional for you. So I think somewhere around here is okay. Now once I have this, I'll just use the move tool again, making sure that all 3 is selected, and I'll rotate it about, let's try about -5. I think -5 is okay. Now once I'm done with the rotation, I'll hold down the Ctrl key, make sure everything is still selected or still active. Hold down the Ctrl key and make it look something like this. So you are basically just deforming the shape. So something like this and something like that. So yeah, now once it looks this way, it's pretty much like lying flat. So I think like so is okay, and just click comment OK at the top. So we are going to be editing them one after the other. Let's start with the first layer, which is this one. Now I'm going to keep in mind that these points 1 and 2 are going to remain the same. It's just the inner part that we are going to deform. So click on any of the edges or just use Ctrl T So Ctrl T will just bring up the transform options like so, and click on this little icon right here, which allows you to warp the layer or the image in which you are working with. And I'll just click and drag from the center like so, something like this. I'll hold down the space bar to bring up the hand tool so that I can move to a different position, and do the exact same thing for the bottom like so. So something like this, pretty basic. So once I have that, I'll comment OK, and I'll move over to the second one. Again, Ctrl T to bring up the transform options, click on this icon and bring this somewhere around here like so. Move over to the top and bring this also somewhere around here. Then as that same thing for the third one, this icon, bring it somewhere here, click from the center somewhere around here, and that is looking okay. Alright, so let me select everything and move it to the top a little bit. So I'm going to create a new layer beneath all of the layers. So that is going to be what I will call shadows. And I'll just grab the brush tool. Let me see. I'll increase the brush size to about 5. Let's try 300 first. And I'll be using the soft round in this case. Now making sure that I'm brushing on the layer called shadows, I'll just do something like this. I think this is too harsh, so I'll make the opacity of probably 70%, and I'll brush in like so. Okay, now this is looking quite nice. I think I have to reduce the brush size to about 200 pixel. So I'll brush in like so. Whilst not leaving it, I'll brush in over here like so. So I have something like this I can work with. That's pretty okay. So once I have this, we are pretty much getting the layer or the effect we want. I also want to go to the adjustment panel and click on gradient and change the style to radial, reverse it, increase the scale to 1000%. That's something I always do in my videos. In case you have been here for long, you will know. So basically that is it. This is how to create a simple mockup like this. So at any point in time, if I think I want to go back to the original image, or I have another preset in mind, I can just open up another image. This same technique applies here. So if you want to change layer 3, 2 and 1, you just double click on any of them, replace them with whatever you want. So let's just say I do that for this, close it, save it up. It automatically changes it here, and I can do that for all the other layers. And basically that is it. So as long as you have your images, you can change them at any point in time. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to watch more 5 videos, hit that subscribe button. And as always, don't forget to share with your family and friends. This is Theo from Fino Concept, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.